Oh, you recording? Are you like voicing it too or no?
That was a good thing you did, Captain. Helping to bring the deserters and Edgewater folks back together. I hope you rest well on that.
Wondering about my swords. Well, one's for monsters. The other. Only got one.
You should clear out. Engineering's a dangerous place to wander until we get those radiators fixed.
If it's not a life or death problem, I've got more important repairs to do.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Remember Auntie Cleo? Because she remembers you. When you were sick, who took your temperature? When you were hungry, who gave you a needle full of love? Auntie Cleo, that's who. Have you given your auntie a hug today? This has been Halcyon News, your only source
Good
for
law,
news
the
in the
heat here
Halcyon
is so
Colony.
unbearable I can hardly even concentrate.
Thought there'd be more machinery.
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal introduction. Groundbreaker doesn't see many visitors.
Anything else you can tell me about Hendrik?
No, it isn't. It's a mess. But it's my mess, so I'll take the compliment. Just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers, their family. I hope there won't be any problems while you're visiting.
You talking about Outer Worlds?
Good. Don't go making trouble, and chances are you won't find any. That's how I like it here. So what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm curious, even though 9 times out of 10 the answer's just passing through.
Oh shit.
Interesting.
You enjoying it
The
though?
powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and
That's
such.
good.
Maybe someone in the promenade can
Oh,
get you the right
beyond.
weapon for the job. We see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust outsiders. You seem different, so welcome aboard. Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. They're dumping superheated air into my ship. Only the board has access to new parts, and I won't let them swindle me into a corner. None. Every time I give in to the board, Groundbreaker loses its freedom. Soon there won't be anything left. I can't allow that. The board isn't helping, and my resources are spread thin. If I don't get those radiators back online, Groundbreaker, everyone on board, will be cooked alive. Reasonable, huh? That's the best news I've heard all day. According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be in the back bays. Sorry, I forgot not everyone knows this ship like I do. The back bays are on a lower deck, long abandoned and a haven for miscreants now. I have. One of my engineers, plus a small security detail. They didn't come back. I can't afford to lose any Mardits on this job. No offense, but a freelancer like you is more dispensable. Nice and pragmatic. Thanks for understanding. You must not have been here long. In Halcyon, new parts come by way of interstellar freighters from Earth, and the board monopolizes that kind of trade. That means I'd have to negotiate with the board. I've already given them the shops, the docking fees, and a damn embassy. Damn right. And while I'm captain of the Groundbreaker, it falls to me to preserve this ship's independence. Those idiots are immune to reason, and they don't much care if the station melts to pieces. They're content to die last. If you could find some way to solve this without violence, I'd prefer that. But more than anything, we need those parts. Good. Once you've obtained the parts, we can proceed to the next phase of repairs.
Let's go. What? Lost your nerve?
This is Halcyon News. We
Piss off. I'm bollocks.
interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story.
Who the... Hey, McRed, were you expecting any company?
A neighbor from above approaches our realm. Back away now, or you'll parley with the king. Look at this ripe piece of meat just sizzling on the grill. Yum, yum. Time to feed the flames.
It's nothing personal. Promise.
Is this what carbon monoxide poisoning looks like? I don't think this deck is too well ventilated.
Speaking for myself, Captain, I am not of a mind to be murdered by a psychopath who plays with fire.
You came with the crew. Welcome. We got plenty of space to spread out, but only room for one captain.
Leave me be, whoever you is. Get away. Calm down. It's over.
I know this ain't a toy, neighbor from above. It's a catalyst, just like me. Keep talking. I like the sound of your voice.
Aye. It's over. All's past, never to be restored. I'll not forget that ever.
That's right, sir. Just the parts. We'll be in and out in a jiff. You won't even know we were here.
Tennyson just keeps feeding the furnace, don't she? We're still playing with her last sacrifice out back, with the crew.
They nabbed it in that hut. If you'd have heard the cries, if you'd have heard...
You don't just ask a king for a favor when you're standing in his court. You bring tribute, sacrifices, prophecy, shit like that.
They took 'em. Took 'em all.
Under its skin, this ship is all poison and darkness. Lead bones, asbestos muscle. Maybe you're right. You've got the run of the kingdom. Up those stairs, you'll find the parts. My crew won't get in your way.
Can we chat? Smells kind of like old Wes's house on pipes.
Satan terror through and through.
You got another
Head like screw. Head. By the end, he could do naught but
backside still smarts.
Does everyone get branded when we find Cred's crew?
Nope. You're out with the Park of Kansas now that it's home to an original McRed.
I guess I'm on.
It's possible I haven't had too many mushrooms.
You're wrong. The terrors. Yeah, the village you in that hut will be right off. The whole
McRed gave me a taste of the good stuff. I've been stressing for days.
Careful with that shit. You'll end up as crazy as he is.
It's crazy to live in this universe. Crazy combo. Crazy combo.
Can you imagine being frozen for 10 years, sailing through space in a room such as this?
tortured him. Maybe they missed something. Should check your boots. Blood congealed. Got a fit keyhole somewhere nearby.
You're the first person I've seen who talked their way past McRed. It may not sound like much, but take my word for it. Wow. Junlei sent me down to collect the parts we need to fix the radiators. McRed got me all distracted sucking fumes and talking about the cosmos.
Ma'am, I don't mean to be a bother, but what's Miss Chief Junlei like? If you don't mind me asking, I mean.
Maybe ask her yourself. It's been fun, but I should probably get back to a deck where I'm not hallucinating about worms all the time. You know how it is.
Youth these days have no principles.
I can't tell if you brought friends or if I'm still seeing things, so maybe I ought to lay off the fumes and head back to work. I'll get back to my post. See you topside, stranger.
For a sack of grain. About due for a charcoal shipment.
Live free, die free. Nothing else matters.
Notes among the ledger entries. Interesting aliens.
You get that automech patch? McRed wants it up and running.
I'm trying to think of a good name before I wake it up.
Don't give it a name. Hey, hasn't got a birthday. Not like us.
Oh yeah? Fuck your birthday.
Liz gonna be pleased as pie when we show her these.
Halcyon News. We...
You've returned, and in one piece. Color me impressed. Good work. I'll take those. I need you to head through the large door at the far end of engineering. Take the elevator down into the machinery shaft. There's a terminal in the back. Activate it when I call over the ship's PA. And bring weapons. There's a slight Mantipillar infestation. More than a few. Less than a hive. Nothing you can't handle. We were salvaging parts from a ship. Turned out there were eggs inside. They got into the radiators, and here we are.
So?
Don't worry, Miss Junlei. We'll be super gentle with the ship. You don't got a thing to worry about. I mean, aside from fires and such. I'm
just
genuinely
hopped
heartened to hear
on.
that.
Yep.
Who wants to play an impromptu tossball match? No one? Really?
The controls are in the back of the machinery shaft area. Keep clear of the radiators.
How about a few rounds of cards?
Good news? Song tells me the security mechanicals turned up and killed a bunch of mantis. Bad news. Diagnostic says their circuit boards are used to the heat, so they're not too picky about who they kill next. Sneak past if you can. Shoot back if you need to. I can always fix them later.
A witcher. Want to talk to him?
when you're free.
Processing.
Incoming!
Initiated.
The last.
Believe I also. We'll talk inside. Make yourself at home. There it is.
No thanks.
Before the war, there was a distillery nearby.
Done. The temperatures are dropping.
Geralt of Rivia.
Stop by once you found your way out of there. Groundbreaker owes you
Already.
thanks.
I know who you are. Truthfully. How do you like it here?
Didn't come here to talk about the scene.
You're wrong to avoid the topic. You've just arrived, like you say. Someone loses their way around here.
What are you getting at?
Many have lost loved ones.
Get to the point already.
That's why you've come, isn't it?
So she was here.
She showed up sometime. Exhausted, hungry. Later, I learned she'd come from the swamp.
I had a question about your plan, Mr. Vicker.
Of course. The cosmos is generated and directed by the universal equation, also known as the Grand Plan. By contemplating the teleological order of things, one can achieve verity. Oh, right. You had a question?
Never mind. That about answers it.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled...
My boards are returning to green. What a weight that is off my shoulders. I don't normally tolerate outsiders mucking about in my station's guts, but you're all right. The temperature should be dropping as we speak. I'll see to it the crew knows who kept us all from boiling alive. If you've got time, I believe Edna has a comms issue that could use your attention. I've also authorized Doc and Furu to sell you our premium meds.
Whoa. Whoa.
CNP, I can't believe it's not Gordon. It's unbelievable how good it is.
Is it just me, or is Groundbreaker feeling extra chilly? Maybe you ought to help yourself to a piping hot frozen dinner. Oh, and it's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice. Taste the freedom. A lot of slogans to keep track of. Sometimes I forget. Have a look.
You can calm down. Hello there. Are you lost? A little, I guess.
we'll find the way if we set off together. What happened to you? This? It's nothing. Why don't you tell me where you live? In Lindenville. They'd teach you rules there. That they must not lose their children in the woods. They can't go home because of the Wolf King and his men. See what I've got on my back? Wolves fear.
This is Halcyon News. Regularly scheduled time for the following story. You have what it takes to defend your corporate township from the dangers of alien wildlife and pesticide. Talk to your local manager about applying for military training and lend your life to protect our wonderful brands and products. Full employment rights, tax breaks, military discount, health benefits, military education, medal training, or weapons. This story is brought to you by Halcyon News. All the news that's fit to broadcast.
Rizzo's Crippleberry Crunch, Tripical Flakes, and Crippleberry Flavored Fire Nuggets. Now with 12% more crunch.
I've seen you limping a bit. You all...
You can come out now. My, you're brave. My father couldn't even do that.
Mine could do a lot more. Come. Right, Mr. Vicker? Need us to slow down?
You got a second? Fancy running into you again. Don't mind me. It's just admiring your ship from up close. Gotta hand it to you, boss. That's a fine-looking ship. Only thing it's missing is me. Yes, I absolutely am. Just give me a shot. That's all I'm asking. I could be the best damn crew you ever hired. You're serious. You're giving me a shot. All right. Hang on. I put together a little speech, just in case you asked. Hey there. I'm Felix Millstone. I have prepared a list of reasons why I believe you should hire me to join the crew of your ship and/or outlaw gang.
What's this?
Firstly, I am highly personable, and I get along well with anyone who is not of the jackass persuasion.
I'm sorry. He's funny.
Secondly, I can be counted on in the event of a firefight, standoff, and/or raid. My motto is, if you need a steady gun hand, I'm your man. That motto is it's a work in progress.
Good question. No silver, but I can make a blade oil.
Additionally, I have several years of experience as a box hauler. This skill may come in handy if you need a body dragged away or a door held open while escaping enemy fire. In conclusion, thank you for considering me for your ship crew and/or outlaw gang. I look forward to our adventures together.
I thought that was real good, Felix.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. What do you think? Am I in? Wow. You don't know how long I've been waiting to hear that. Thanks, boss. You're not gonna regret this. I'll just gather my personals and meet you on board. This is gonna be great.
You got a crew now, Felix.
Can we talk?
Dark. Afraid? Are you? No. Then I'm not either. Alright. Now for some work and build a fire. Greasing my blade. See just how effective Uncle Casimir's feeling I am.
It's always fucking freezing in the base.
This is Halcyon News.
We move cargo
We interrupt
16
your
hours a
regularly
day and half
scheduled
most of
advertising
Kevin
for the
Fort Bend.
following story. Southern Townships have asked Halcyon News to make a statement regarding rumors of food shortages. Rest assured, the far-sighted corporate leaders of Halcyon have tailored their product lines to be selective to the refined customer. Schedule scarcity is a frequent feature of colonial life. You've been listening to Halcyon News, your man.
Rizzo's Purple Berry Fudge. A salt, sour, candy sour. C&P Borston Baked Beans. When you need to eat, healthy one.
Neighbor from above. What brings you to my little moonlight kingdom? Listen to the fire of those convictions. This one's hungry for justice. Alive or dead? Rare or medium? What's it gonna be? How do you want me cooked, bounty hunter? My flame? Shit. Little Flick here got me started on the pyro path. Fine. He's yours. Give him a good home.
Don't worry, Mr. McRed. We'll treat Mr. Flick extra nice on account of he's your friend.
You call your lighter Little Flick?
I'll miss my baby Pyro, but it beats losing my head. This court needs its king, and I'm one of a kind. Keen eyes you got there. Sunita gave me this lighter. We had a carnal understanding a few years back, and she wanted me to have something to remember her by. Lay it on me, boss. Ship got impounded. The crew and I racked up a debt while we were grounded, and my baby got sold to Sublight. Scrapped for parts. That's bureaucracy for you. Piracy with a smile. Am I your dark reflection? Shit, must be getting old. Stay here too long, and the groundbreaker drains you like a fuel tank. You can come and go in my little king.
What do you think you're doing? All right, fine. Get out of here.
Not to make a mess. For their return.
What do you think you're doing? All right, fine. Get out of here.
Fresh flowers. He expects them to return any minute.
This place is falling apart.
Can't spell groundbreaker without broken. Oh, wait.
Hey, you!
Incoming!
Well, bring out the gimp.
Think the gimp's sleeping.
CNP pancake mix. Now requires no mixing. Series starters. Rizzo Special Vodka. Aftertaste the rainbow.
How goes the hunt? I've been ruminating on it, and I decided, if you ain't killed McRed yet, I want you to hurt him a little before you do. Nothing excessive, mind you, but the scoundrel deserves a light beating at least before he kicks off. Here's the bounty payout. Nice work down there. With any luck, we can hire more sharp-eyed bounty hunters like you in the future. With that bastard McRed dead, there ain't much else in the offing. Not that I'm complaining, mind you.
Stem's broken. Wall's a different color. Something used to hang here. That painting. Right size. The Baron and his wife. Look at me now.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Tossball finals are scheduled to air
Rizzo's Knock You Out Bar. A CCN 76 milk chocolate bar.
It's almost time for today's episode of The Chairman's Children. Care to listen with me?
Might have happened here. I'll look for clues.
Fantastic. Do be careful with it, dear, as these keys tend to be a tad hard to acquire. You should have a chat with Lilia Hagen in the sublight offices. She's a dear. You'll love her. Now, was there anything else? Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me.
Somebody smashed a bottle. Probably just some. Yeah. Scent hasn't died.
If you're here for this... What do you want, then? My hard-earned wisdom? That's right, dearie. The only independent station in the colony. That's us. Though for how long, I can't say. That all depends on Miss June Lay. The board can't abide a community that won't bend to its will. Go right ahead, sweetheart. Oh, a little of this, a little of that. I buy and sell items that require discretion to dispose of. Knickknacks. Curios. I also knit throw pillows stuffed with the hair of famous tossball players. But that's more of a passion project.
I'm not sure that's entirely legal.
That's half the reason I make them, my dear. But that's not what you wanted to talk about, is it, dear?
Doubt you were the only ones in the castle.
Ask the common folk, and they'll tell you it's on account of all the monsters on Monarch desperate to gobble you up. Because that's what the board tells them, you see. I think they made some fool mistake that would make them look bad to the rest of the colony, and they're trying to hide the evidence.
Any idea where she got it?
Those board folk are real prideful-like. Never want you looking behind the curtain, lest you see their derrieres. But old Gladys knows the score. The whole colony's not much more than a diorama, showcasing one board screw-up after another. That's why we gotta keep them from getting their grubby mitts on Groundbreaker. She's our mess. Probably. Every once in a while, we get these snippets of radio chatter. Edna shows them to me. Some man hooting and hollering about the light in us all. Claims he's transmitting from Monarch, but who knows if that's true. Might be true. Might be some new trick from the board. Anytime, sweetheart. Gracious. I've got a lovely little...
A spinning top. Gretka's toy. Siri must have used these. Looks like she left in a hurry.
Could use some hair of that. What's that you're muttering? Time to water the horses. Yeah. You.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Do you...
Start.
Boots a bit big, maybe. Careful.
Hold that, sir. I am Bronford of the Small Mall.
Oh, that's rough.
Honor.
Ah! Why are you so... Thing is...
I'm gonna be able to set foot on the whole planet? Well, I know Monarch's a moon. I think it counts anyhow.
Monarch is a wretched hive of terrorism and anarchy. We best top off our ammo stock before we leave.
Suck it. Do it. You can do it.
Yes. Looks good with you.
Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch. Typical flakes and strawberry
It's clearing up.
Rizzo's lemon donut. Your whole family tonight.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Remember Auntie Cleo? Because she remembers you. When you were sick, who took it?
Can we talk?
Let's hear it. A teaspoon of leaves for his belly and cover his boils with mallow. A few days and he'll be good as new.
Noted. But if it don't work, we'll be back. Move out, boys.
Scabies. Gotta wonder about a man who could get Edric's friends all worked up. Hey, anybody home? Ha! Going out with safety. Who do they think? I need your help. Ha!
Wolf, right? Oh, not old. 'Tis he the Peller awaits.
Recognize this? Made of spruce wood, strong smell of juniper, designed to protect someone.
Freshly cut spruce sprinkled with goat's blood, then tempered with an incense of earth, smoke, and juniper. For Anna, to protect her.
So, designed to protect her. From what?
The siege she was
Rizzo's mock apple cider. A mark cider.
dark sources emerge.
Magic. Can you be more specific?
It is not for mouth speech, nor for the touch. A small protective charm.
Oh, neat! They got stuff in here I ain't seen in ages.
Now, this should prove interesting, to say the least.
Lilia takes sublight for life. Corporations never lifted a finger.
But the spirits come. The Peller will augur, the spirits ask.
Spirits. Great. Fine with me. As long as I know where to look, where to find them.
Lost. Must be found. Princess! None better than Princess for finding things.
Princess? Which princess?
Princess, my goat! She's fled.
Those men must have scared her off. Gotta get back to the augury.
No goat.
Will you help me if I bring the goat back?
Princess! Princess!
Welcome to Sublight Salvage and Shipping, a legitimate business for legitimate consumers. You the one flying the unreliable?
Beware of wild strawberries.
Yeah, treacherous as beasts go.
Miss Lily has been expecting you. I'll unlock the door. Sure am. A few years back, they got me started on simple acquisitions. You know those latches they put on cargo bays ain't worth a damn? These days, I stick to HQ and look after Miss Lilia.
So you're the new captain in town. I was hoping you'd make your way to my office. Saves me the work of hunting you down. Lilia Hagen, CEO and Executive Director of Aggressive Operations. I'm guessing you already know about Sublight, otherwise you wouldn't have come. Charmed. It's nice to see the Unreliable again. Useful ship. Hawthorne was my contractor. I'd recognize that leaky boat of his anywhere. Is Ada still at the helm? I don't know how many times I told Hawthorne to restore that smartass to factory settings. I have a salvage job for someone light on corporate ties with a reliable set of wings. But there's a catch.
Just like in the serials.
If you have a nav key to Stellar Bay, the job's yours. Interested? First, an embargo that's been active ever since the board pulled its forces off-world. Few regulations, plenty of freedom. And second, all the goodies that no one had time to pack.
This way, I think.
One of my guys in Stellar Bay has a lead on some high-grade salvage, but he went dark before he could spill the goods. We arranged a drop at the Saltuna warehouse's loading dock. Find whatever he left there and take it to Fallbrook. My gal Catherine will be expecting you. A few of my contractors run flights in there and out again, working around with the board embargo. We keep the community lubricated with a steady supply of booze and unconventional erotica. Byzantium kids with more money than sense can thank Sublight for their good time. One of my guys filmed a Raptidon grinding on an automech. Didn't end well for anyone, including the cameraman. When the board pulled out of Monarch, they buried or sealed anything they couldn't carry off-world. Apparently, one of Catherine's teams uncovered an abandoned lab with full tanks of Alta Vitae gas. It's exactly 1 million bits per cubic meter. Before you get too excited, the only thing rarer than Alta Vitae gas is a reliable buyer. Dangerous stuff. Acid for the nuclein in your cells. It's no good to anyone outside of a lab.
Ah, yes, Alta Vitae. I knew someone who inhaled it by accident. I'd never seen anybody spontaneously combust before.
I see your friend here is the brains of the operation. Good. Every salvage crew needs one. Now, get going. Catherine will brief you on the details when you check in with her at Fallbrook. One last thing. When you're on the job, keep a pair of eyes in the back of your head. Understood? Don't go looking for anything, except salvage. Just watch out. You'll do fine. Probably nothing to worry about. Probably.
Well, that set me at ease.
Miss Lilia takes good care of us, see? The authorities stay off our tails.
What was that? What do you think you're doing?
gonna happen. You don't seem to like... Traveling with us much.
Why in the architect's name would you say that?
It's just that you're real... grouchy. Kinda all the time.
I'm not grouchy, I'm just irritated by inane questions.
Yeah, see, when you say it like that, it makes me wonder.
Impeccable timing, Captain. I was about to watch the latest episode in Halcyon Helen's thrilling serial adventure. Welcome back, Captain. Now that you have acquired a nav key to Stellar Bay, would you like me to contact Dr. Wells?
Well done. You'll love Monarch. Exotic climate, violent native species, fascinating culture, really. You'll need to speak with Hiram Blythe. He's known as the information broker, and for good reason. If anyone knows where I can find those chemicals, it's Hiram. I need those chemicals to revive the Hope's colonists. They can help us fight back against the Board. They can help us set things right. If we don't put a stop to the Board, they're going to drive this colony toward a complete societal collapse. You'll see what I mean when you arrive on Monarch. No, never. Monarch is a hotbed of political activity. I can't imagine why Hiram set up shop there. Cuisine, perhaps? You'll want to hire the services of a skilled guide. I recommend a hunter by the name of Nyoka. Frequents the drinking establishments of Stellar Bay. Very hard to miss. Once you have everything you need, make your way to Hiram Blythe's compound. Come see me in my lab. I'll answer any questions you have. Best of luck. Everyone on the Hope is counting on you.
Princess, flee not from the pillar, for there are wolves about.
We are now in orbit above Stellar Bay, Captain. No blockade is a match for my piloting skills.
Happy for you, but I'm kinda Anna and Tamara.
Why, you've helped the pillar. And so the pillar... Blood. We need blood.
Fine. Mentioned a child. Whose?
Why, Anna's.
Anna was pregnant.
She miscarried.
I like what you've done with the place. Kitschy collectibles are such a human inclination.
Archling will help. Lead the wolf to the loved ones.
Archlings suck the blood of pregnant women from their fetuses. They don't help.
Tis a being cursed, and witches lift curses. If the white wolf can't lift it, he should bring its blood. Blood will always find kindred.
Why do you want its blood?
Blood. It binds men for all ages.
Sure, but what do you want to do with it?
At times, centuries, two brothers to reconcile. One dies before things are...
And what is the pellet?
He awaits forefathers'
Can we
Eve.
talk?
He mixes the blood with milk, herbs, and hen. There shall be no forefathers' Eve this year.
Archling's curse. Never tried it myself, though. I need to bury it under the threshold.
Perform the iron blow.
The ritual of naming. That's an elven custom.
Hey, hold on there. I gotta sign you in.
Whatever I do, I gotta find the...
Seek it at midnight, near the grave that lies...
Don't think I've seen you around.
You say is true.
That means you must be new to Stellar Bay. You are new here, right? You must have seen those UDL gunships on your way in. There's only 3 of them these days. Still, they tend to scare folk off. You may not have heard, you being new, but Stellar Bay hardly ever gets off-road traffic. Us being cut off by the board and all. Which means I never get to do this part, but I've been practicing, so here goes. On behalf of Monarch Stellar Industries, welcome to Stellar Bay, home of the freshest sal tuna in Halcyon. Please state your name for the records. Swell. There's one for the logs. I'm even gonna give you your own entry code. I'm not supposed to do that. It's against procedure, but Mr. Sanjar isn't so strict about the rules here. Besides, I got a lot of empty entries to fill. We don't get ship traffic in town. Only off-worlders who do make it out here are sublight. They got a base in Fallbrook. And thank the stars for them, or we would have run out of Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch years ago. Oh, that'll just make Mr. Sanjar's day if you tell him. The board makes up lots of nasty stories about raptidons and cannibals and whatnot. But that's all outside our walls. Mostly. Oh, sure. They make Stellar Bay sound like a rotten place, but it's not so bad. Get a good breeze going, and the sulfur smell mostly covers up the fishy smell.
Ah, the nostalgic stench of home. Can't say I miss the day-to-day of living in Edgewater.
Anyway, Mr. Sanjar's got lots to say on that subject. Kinda goes over my head, though. Mr. Sanjar will be mighty pleased to meet you. If you see him over at headquarters, maybe you could tell him I did a bang-up job of welcoming you? Oh, and if you're headed that way, maybe you could do me a favor? I got this Rizzo's Rangers Tossball poster coming in on the next sublight shipment, signed by the Black Hole himself. Only I haven't heard anything in a while. You think you could check with Celia to see if it's come in? That's Bertie Holcomb, only one of the greatest Tossball hackers ever.
I wonder if he's kin. Dad had family that worked for Rizzo's. I never got to meet them.
Everyone's heard of him, even on Monarch. We still get some of the games. You been living in a sulfur pit or something? Oh, you're real funny. Guess I don't feel so bad for missing what goes on in the rest of Stellar Bay. I couldn't really say I'm just a fan of the game. But the fancy collector types say the more people see these things, the less valuable they are. And I figure my poster's been passed around by more than a few people by now. Thanks a bunch. Celia works for Mr. Sanjar in the MSI building next to the bar. She's always there, so you can't miss her.
So long.
Fresh blood at last. Stellar Bay could use some.
Got any news from the rest of Halcyon?
Laws. Can a man enjoy the smooth menthol flavor of a Stogie Slim in peace? What I am doing, sir, is enjoying the moment. It's so rare that I can seize one apart from the jabbering masses of this wretched place. This law's forgotten town. Cut off from the rest of the colony. Removed from any culture. I recall when Stellar Bay was a proper board-affiliated town with regular shipments of Auntie Cleo's best and all the cereals. Before Sanjar took over MSI and got us all booted. Days of consumption and culture. When we weren't squabbling with the iconoclasts for lack of better things to do. Look, you're making me melancholy. Is there something you wanted?
Well, we don't get many outsiders. You don't look like Sublight. Must be freelance.
Well, well. Isn't often we see new folk in Stellar Bay. First drink's on me, stranger. Enjoy. If you plan on sitting through Nyoka's stories, you might could use a few.
I could use a few and telling them myself.
Now what can I do for you? Anyone who spends any amount of time in this bar is bound to get to know Nyoka. On account of her being here so often herself. And I don't mean that unkindly. Anyone who's rid us of as many beasts as you have is entitled to a few drinks. Something else I can do for you? Not since Amber Heights. These days we have more leaving than coming. Off to join the iconoclasts or some such.
Wards and mange? Sounds dangerous.
Thought it had a fancy ring to it. Name's the first advertising anyone sees, after all. Nope. But a man can dream.
And the little bastard's slippery, right? On account of its blood, so it's sliding. All over the place, trying to crawl away. Getting so I can't tell the blood from the mud. Don't interrupt, it's rude. But I gotta get in there, get right in that baby rap's stomach and dig it out. If so much as a drop of stomach acid got on that medallion, I don't know what I'd do. Might be I'd hunt every damn Rapt out there. Right. What are you staring? Wait. You ain't from around here. Who are you? Ooh, charmer. Don't get a lot of that around here. Folks mostly grump at me about how I should join the MSI payroll. Nice change of pace. Buy me a drink, will you? Outstanding! What are you doing in Stellar Bay, stranger? Well. Let's get down to brass nuts then, shall we? Wait, that ain't it. Brass rats? Let's talk business. I'm headed back out there after I sober up. You want a guide sooner than that? You have to get me something to clear my head. Outstanding! Our dispensary here maintains a stock of, well, I don't rightly know what they are. Steroid or caffeine somethings? Pills. They're very good. I'm cut off for the month, on account of needing one just about every damn day. But I'm sure you've got your wily ways. Fetch me one and we'll be all set.
Fine. You blind? Nobody will
Well, they work. We got a deal or what?
Watch your step if you venture outside the walls.
You don't look like Sublight. Must be freelance.
Got any news from the rest of Halcyon?
Don't play me for a fool.
New face, huh? You from Offworld?
Giving me no choice.
A ship captain? Well, I'll be. Here, let me buy you a drink. Consider it an MSI welcome. Why don't you grab a chair, sit a spell, and revel with us?
By the smell, he's been reveling enough for you both already.
Me and my friends have taken our destiny into our own hands. We're untethered, free of responsibility and worldly cares. Well, as long as we don't run out of bits. But until the windfall's gone, we're riding high. See, we just walked out on our work. Had enough, we did. So now we're striking. It ain't any one thing but the sum of it all, having to work longer shifts for less bits. And the wages we do earn don't cover as much as they used to. Our supervisor Velma goes on and on about quarterly profits and meeting quotas. But that ain't what Sanjar promised us. Velma refuses to negotiate, so we're refusing to work. We won't go back until she agrees to pay us fair and proper. Us on Monarch, we're free from the board, you know? We have the right to lobby for better hours and pay.
Not because you couldn't control them, but because you drove them away.
I wouldn't doubt it. You look like the type who tends to come out on top. Not like us cogs, trying to be the squeaky wheel but just getting deadlocked. It's been days, but Velma won't even hear us out. Maybe you could just make her listen to our demands.
I'm supposed to find your family.
You would do that? We sure are lucky you decided to come up to the patio today. I knew drinking up here would be good for more than the views. Sure thing. What did you want to discuss?
What? A cursed creature that draws strength.
I never meant to call for anyone's head on a pike. Velma's not my favorite person, but she ain't been cruel to us. Devil it all. Now you got me feeling sorry for her. Fine. I guess we'll go back to work to save Velma's job. We'll find a better time to negotiate our wages. Tell Velma not to worry. We'll look out for her.
Can we talk?
That's a sort of harm, a guardian spirit.
It'll be good to get some steady pay again.
Thanks for the help. Still, this is a nice break from the warehouse.
Ah, the charmer! All of the...
The sooner we resolve this, right here with me. Get word to the common folk. And try to... Do I take a shovel? Dig up the ground.
Trying to get us all in trouble?
But not for that.
What do you think you're doing? I don't have time for this.
A bit further. Follow me. They give the child a name. Mistake. Names are powerful seals.
Velma seem out of sorts to you?
She's always cranky.
Chose a lovely spot.
If Velma's capable of running the warehouse, she can certainly pick up her own caffeinoid.
Don't be so hard on her. With Brax missing, she's working doubles and needs a little edge.
Very well, dearie. But you stop by anytime you like. Hmm?
Thanks, I'll keep that in mind.
Hello, dearie. Why, I don't believe I've seen you before. And with sweet cheeks like those, I'd remember. What can Auntie Abigail do for you?
No! Fuck!
And what a helpful young man you are. Nothing like a little pill to liven up the spirits. Who's your lucky friend, dearie? I'm so
Cozy?
sorry, but with the iconoclasts and the marauder filth chasing
You
away
too?
what little trade we get, I'm
How
afraid
you
I
enjoying
have
the
to
game so
reserve
far?
my supply for Stellar Bay residents. Our reserves have gotten so low, I've even had to start locking the supply room upstairs.
What? The
Isn't it
Witcher
a
is pretty
shame
interesting,
what
bro.
some people will do to get a little extra.
They got like hella cool monsters and shit. Yeah. Have you heard of the
Except for
botchlings?
you. I can tell. You've
The
got
miscarried
one of those faces.
fetuses that turns into
I'd make
little
an
zombies.
exception for you if I could, my little cherub.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else
And
needing a
they
special
prey on
pickup
pregnant
for Mighty
women.
Abigail?
Stuff like that's crazy.
Here's the spot. Chosen. Done. Good. Agreed. Watch them. Watch them.
Oh, her. It's none of my business, but I have told her Dr. Williams would bump up her monthly allotment if only she'd join MSI. Contribute like the rest of us. Now I've gone and said too much. And you know me, dearie. I don't like to pry. I'm afraid not. Dr. Williams managed the town's allotments from his terminal upstairs. Even I can't access them. Oh, you flatter an old woman. Me, I'm just here to be a pretty face for the customers. And to keep an extra key to the supply room for all the times Dr. Williams misplaced his. The one upstairs, where we store our medicines. In the town graveyard, I'm afraid. Poor man was always searching for the flower of enlightenment. On the way, he tried some rather daring substance combinations. The graveyard's near the southern ruins. You're certainly welcome to pay our respects, but the bodies tend to attract beasties. Do be careful. I'd hate for anything to happen to you, dearie. Chin up, dearie.
Man, bro, I'm gonna fucking die, cut. Nah. This game just hella hard, bro. Yeah, I'm playing I think normal difficulty, I think. No fucking way.
You give the child a name. No. Boy, mistake. Those are powerful seals. Here's the spot. Just down. Good. Nick, what's... Take it This.
What?
Wrapped mask and canid eyes, right here.
Please, will someone help me? My boy's in trouble. Oh, thank you for stopping. Everyone acts like nothing's wrong, like my little boy isn't at risk of being eaten by some vile creature. Please, you have to help me get my little Tucker back. He ran away and is going to get himself killed. Oh, I just know a Raptidon is melting him with acid as we speak.
Back to the fortress. As I recall, you were the one wanted to test the old legends and change it into a lubberkin.
Oh, I just knew you were a good person. Agnes, I said, this is the man to save your little Tucky. And I was right. He ran out into the wilderness a few days ago. I warned him about the Raptidons, Mantisaurs, and Marauders, the toxic sulfur pools, and poisonous plants, but he didn't listen.
Oh, law, Captain. A youngster won't last long in a place like this. Please, can't we help?
Please, won't you go and find my boy? Well, I guess I can't ask you to leave the town walls for free. It is deathly dangerous out there. I've got some bits saved up for a rainy day. I'll give you every last one if you just bring my Tucker back to me. I won't even be mad at him running off. You tell him I won't be mad. He's been pining for an adventure. Says he's tired of living cooped up behind the walls. But he doesn't understand how dangerous it is out there. I warned him. A Raptidon would snap him up first chance it got. I just know one's ripped his arm off and is gnawing on his sweet little fingers. He should have listened to his mama. I promised I'd keep him safe here with me. Listening to those awful broadcasts that the Iconoclasts put out. I begged Sanjar to put a stop to them, but did he? No! And now I just know my boys run off to Amber Heights. That is, if a Mantiqueen hasn't spooled out and eaten his entrails for breakfast already! Those low-life degenerates, leading innocent boys into a life of danger. Oh, they make it sound so exciting. Like it's noble to risk it all out there, fighting for the greater good. How noble is it to worry your loved ones? Not at all, I say. But still they preach their sermons of anarchy and rebellion to anyone who'll listen.
If they weren't holed up in Amber Heights, I'd knock them all upside the head. That old settlement, southwest of Stellar Bay. I don't know which is worse, the thought of my son shacking up with them nutty iconoclasts, or that he never made it. Sprats could be nesting in his rotting body alongside the road as we speak. Or maybe marauders got him, pulled all his teeth out, crushed him into their drugs and made him snort them. Oh, the things that could happen to my sweet baby.
Come on.
Thank you. Oh, I know he'll be safe now that someone's able to fetch him home. You look for him in Amber Heights, you hear? It's down the road southwest of town. I'm sure he made it that far. I just know it. And if you find any of them iconoclasts indoctrinating my boy, you punch them in the mouth. Tell them what I think of them luring little boys away from their mamas. It's immoral. Can we chat?
Smells like those old Sundays when we'd unload salt tuna shipments at the cannery.
The trick is not to breathe through your nose.
Everyone all right?
Forgive me, you who came, but who I did not embrace. Forgive me. You who came, but who I did not embrace. I name thee Synergy, and embrace thee as my daughter. Now bury the body.
Don't mess with it.
What now? In 1 day's time, Dea should turn into a leprechaun. I'll stay here and wait. Light with you. Out of the question. But that's my child. The responsibility for all this lies with me. Time for parental impulses. It's long past. Besides, nothing else you can do here. But no buts. Just Witcher's work left to do here. Gotta wait a day and a night for the botchling to turn into a leprechaun. That's it. Go home. And try not to drink yourself stupid again.
Okay, gone blind.
I wonder what secrets these ruins contain.
I wonder who used to live here. Do you suppose anyone remembers anymore?
Looking for someone who can craft me some armor. Gotta be tough.
I've been at it 20 years now. Mastered the...
Sounds great. Can you make a suit like that?
No, but find someone who can and I'll gladly meet them. Ought to know one thing when it comes to armor. If it's got to be...
It can. Just needs the proper tools to make it. Tools like the folk of Clan Tordaroch use on Undvik.
Joanna, I told you time and again to stay silent when I talk to customers.
It ain't legend, and it ain't nonsense. My granddad looked for his armor. Said Tordaroch folk made the best. Till last year, that is, when a giant ravaged their island. Inhabitants either ran off or died. Should still be
Looking into. There's my tools. You craft the armor for me.
On condition you bring the tools. But only then.
These legends mention where the forge might be.
Yes, north side of the isle, in a cave. Clan folk carved out a rock face to build it.
Look for the tools next time I'm in Skellige. Take... Need some armor.
Hello, stranger. Can I interest you in Raptidon tongue? Or maybe some canid toenails? You look like a man who's looking for some mostly fresh animal parts? I don't know. Celia usually buys whatever I have, and Mr. Pickett seemed real interested. So I thought maybe I was onto something.
Mr. Pickett? Franklin Pickett from Edgewater?
That's him. He'd been here years, but he always talked about going back to Edgewater one day.
Sure. Mr. Pickett used to run the community center outside Edgewater. He had this grand idea to make it a museum for halcyon life. As my dad told it, Mr. Pickett was always going on about getting a Mantiqueen for the last display. He left the Vale, gosh, years ago.
He came to Stellar Bay years ago, just before the board cut us off. Ended up stuck here. He was always real interested in our monsters. Mantiqueens, especially. Sure, they're real big. Hard to miss them. Well, I could send you to the same place I sent Mr. Pickett. But I haven't seen him in a few weeks. To tell true, I'm starting to get a bit worried about him.
Captain, can we look for him? I'd feel awful if somebody from home was in trouble and we didn't do nothing.
Tell you what, I'll tell you where I sent Mr. Pickett if you promise to look for him. Help him out if he's got himself in trouble. Fair deal?
Thanks, Captain.
All right then. Leave town through the southern gate, the one right here, and head past the abandoned ruins. Last Mantiqueen I saw was in the wilds out that-a-ways. Could be Mr. Pickett still out there, too. Yeah, you find him yet?
Hear my call and arise, Dea.
Oh, good. Celia hasn't come by in a few days, so I haven't sold much.
Lead me to those bound to you by blood.
Ah, the Charmer! Welcome back. Drink, chat, or business? All of the above? More or less dangerous than a steady supply of alcohol. Give it here. Ooh, that hits the spot. Right in the, oh, no, there it is. There it is. Yes. We're in business. Let's go. Great. Where to? Oh, Hiram? I ain't checked in on that man in an age. He's running the giant radio tower we lovingly call Devil's Peak. We'll be going south and west, mostly along the road till we're past Fallbrook. Out there, there's a western slope that'll lead us through some fun. You like hunting, right? That's fun. If you're more of a spelunker, Rotting River will take you into the mountain caverns. We can discuss options when we get closer. That said, 3's already a crowd. I don't mind waiting somewhere until you got a spot open.
Long as you've got my back, I'll have yours. Welcome to the Unreliable Crew.
So you keep Monarch safe, huh? That's real honorable work, Miss Nuka.
Oh, no. Monarch ain't safe, even with me around. I've just got intimate knowledge of its dangers and an abundance of fortitude.
Yeah.
Folks hire me because I know what you can shoot and what you ought to run from. That's a mistake you only get to make once.
A worker earns his meals.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, I thought you were quoting It's a